Welcome, Lee here from Play Guitar Academy. Ever feel like your solos sound random or don't quite hit the mark? The secret is targeting the right notes. Today I'm giving you 5 must-know licks that will help you land on the strongest notes, instantly sound more confident when you're soloing. And stick around because I also show you how to find these target notes anywhere on the fretboard. But to get the most out of these lesson videos, sign up for my free soloing course, Blues Solo Breakthrough. It's designed to help you go from feeling lost to playing killer, confident blues solos in just 6 days. In lick number 1, we're going to do the simplest of all to pick the right notes to land on. These are the chord tones. Remember, strong notes equal chord tones, the roots, the third, the fifth, and the flat seventh. This is a simple box pattern major pentatonic lick that resolves to a chord tone. Hitting a chord tone when the chord changes makes your solo sound intentional. Always aim to land on one at the end of a phrase if you want it to sound resolved. So taking a look at this lick, we're going to start on the 8th fret, that's the 5th, and we're going to go up the major pentatonic scale. So 5th, major 6th at the 10th fret, and then the root note, the 8th fret on the high E string. At that point, we're going to have some fun. We're going to play the 2nd degree of the scale and bend it up to the major 3rd. That's what we're doing. We're targeting these strong notes. And then we come back to the 2nd, which is weak, and then go to the root. Now we're going to go back down the scale notes that we already played. 10th fret on the B string, that's the 6th. 8th fret on the B string, that's our 5th. Back up to the 6th. And now we're going to finish this off with a tension and release. Minor 3rd to major 3rd to root. Very common thing to do. We're going to play the 8th fret on the G string. That's our minor 3rd. Then play the 9th fret on the G string. That's our major 3rd. There's our E. And then we're going to go to the root note, 10th fret on the D string. In lick number 2, we're going to use the magic of the major 3rd. We're going to be adding the major 3rd to give a polished and professional sound. It's a very happy sound too. Let's take a look at the lick. We're going to start off with a bar, all at 10th fret on the D, G, and B string. I'm using a hybrid approach for that. Fingers and picks. Then we're going to do the same thing on the offbeat, but this is going to be for just 8s on those same 3 strings. So if 1, 2, and 1. But this last one sounds a little weird. It sounds minor when we have that C7 chord. So we're going to hammer on the major 3rd. This features that. So we have a kind of a bar chord from a 4 chord to a minor to major sound on the 1 chord. Featured. And then we're going to go down the scale, 10th fret on the D, 8th fret on the D, 10th fret on the A, 9th fret on the A. This is the blues scale here with that 9th fret, 8th fret on the A, 6th fret on that same string. This is the minor 3rd. And then we're going to resolve to the major 3rd. So the whole thing, a lot of minor 3rd to major 3rd here and there. So we bookend that lick with those. In lick number 3, we're going to use the 6th degree of the scale for a sweeter sound. The 6th, instead of the minor 7th, which has a harsher kind of sound, makes licks sound more melodic, more major sounding. It's a sweet sounding blues phrase that we're going to work on today that leans on the 6th. It adds color and a major feel without losing the bluesy vibe. So let's take a look at that. We're going to stay in C minor pentatonic here. We're going to start with our C, which is the root note, but we're over an F chord. So that could be considered the 5th in the F chord. Then we have our 8th, that's the minor 3rd in C, and then the 10, which is the 6th degree of the scale here. That's not in the pentatonic scale, but it's got a very sweet sound, and it matches that F chord really nicely. It's a 3rd over an F chord. We're just thinking in C right now. So root, minor 3rd, 6th, back to the 5th, that's the 8th fret, then back to the 10th fret, which is the 6th again. Then we're doing a minor 3rd to major 3rd again, 8th fret to 9th fret on the G string, and then back to the C root. Then we're going to go up 10th fret, 8th fret on G, 10th fret on B, and 8th fret on C. This lick will work both over the C7 or in this instance, the F9. You can use it in a bunch of different places on a 12-bar blues. In this lick, it's going to start on the 5th and work its way down. Let's take a look at this here. So 15th fret on the high E string, that's the 5th. And we're going to work our way back 15, 14, 13. So we have the 5th, flat 5, the 4th, and now instead of going straight to the E, which would be the 3rd, that'd be the 12th fret, we're going to start a half step behind that 11th and slide up into that. So we have this chromatic walk down, then we have jump back and come back up again. Pretty neat. It's surrounding this 3rd, which is the note that we're trying to play over the C7 chord. Next, we're going to play the root note, 13th fret on the B. Then we're going to play the 14th and the 12th on the G string. These are just major pentatonic notes back up to the root. And again, repeat it. So we have very cool chromatic that ends up in a major pentatonic sound. A tip before we move on is don't overuse this chromaticism by just taking notes and connecting the dots with them. It sounds great every once in a while, but if you do too much of it, it starts to wander. And finally, in lick number 5, we're going to be resolving to the 9th. So I'm going to be doing a double stop. I'm going to start on the 8th fret on the B string, 10th fret on the G string, and now I'm going to use that 3rd finger there. I'm going to put my 3rd finger parallel to that on the high E string and slide up 2 frets for a 12th fret double stop and slide back to the 10th fret. This outlines the G9 chord. Then we'll do the same thing, but down 2 frets, 6 on B, 8 on G, and then 8th fret to 10th fret, back to 8th fret again. And now we're going to get to the meat of this last turnaround here. So we have a rest for 8th note, and then we're doing minor 3rd to major 3rd, 8 to 9 on the G string, and then some major pentatonic 8 to 10 on the B string, and then the root note up on the 8th fret of the high E string, back to the 10, back to the 8. So this is all minor 3rd to major 3rd, and then into major pentatonic. Now here's what we've been waiting for. On the B string, we're going to put our first finger on the 8th fret. That's the 5th. And then we're going to put our 3rd finger on the 10th fret of the high E string. This gives you the note that's at the very top of our G9 chord. And it outlines this very nicely and gives a very nice resolution to our 12-bar blues and gets you ready to move back to the top again. Thanks for playing along today, and thanks to all of the Academy members over at PlayGuitarAcademy.com who are tearing into the tab and guitar profiles from this lesson right now. Don't forget to grab my free email course. It's called Blues Solo Breakthrough. It's 6 steps to confident killer solos, packed with tips and strategies to help you play with confidence and make every note count. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments. Have a great practice, and I'll see you in the next lick video. Bye-bye.